hype regions out there, you know, they really shoot for their players, you know. But yeah, Wombat, an absolute demon on the sticks, man. I don't think we need to talk about too much. Anyone that's seen past the Regen events has seen Wombat pull off upset after upset after upset. And now he's one of those real big shooters for Ireland. Getting into it anyway. Game 1 of Regen 2024, top 128, guys. Let's get it.
We can already see, right, elements of patience. This is going to be a matchup of just taking it slow, certainly on the side of Wombat. Rosalina, not a character that you typically see too commonly in Ultima, particularly with a player as young as Wombat as well. You don't have that sort of Smash 4 knowledge to be able to bring back, of course, the character being a lot more popular back then. And it is known to be quite the struggle for Donkey Kong. However, if there is one man that takes one opportunity and turns it into a miracle, it is certainly Wombat, but he's got to find it at the moment. Nearly 100% lead and still trapped on the sledge.
Most definitely so, Joyce. The young DK is going to have to go through some growing pains to get used to this matchup here, because he's kind of struggling here in this first stop, but knowing him, he might be able to clutch it out. Who knows? DK is one of them characters after all. Very explosive, high damage, but right now Solo seems to be soloing him in this first stock, man. Beautiful, beautiful stuff all around. Just getting used to Rosalina, one of the very few pub characters, like you mentioned, Josie. Very difficult to get grips with, you know. So
yeah, if you're not used to this kind of archetype, it is really difficult. And you know, everybody talks about Donkey Kong and about how, you know, the advantage is crazy and you've got so many like decent options in neutral, but it is the disadvantage that really can sort of be, you know, the crack in the armor, so to speak. And that is something that Wombat has really got to find his way around. He's got quite a good opportunity here, but again, just Luma as well. You've got to keep your eyes on both of those characters. It's sort of like the cape that the ball is charging at, and then suddenly you're not aware of the weapon that's behind it.
Honestly, couldn't have said it any better myself. And it really is like the presence of Luma right now. It feels like Solo really is making its presence known. 3 stocks to 1, Joycey. Usually, I feel like a lot of players might, you know, once they're used to the matchup, they sort of ignore the presence of Luma. It's like they knock it off stage. It's gone for a bit. They relax. But right now, Solo, he did lose that stock there. But that Luma, you can really tell it's there. Wombat can't even seem to land, let alone get some hits in now.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we got the best. We got the 3 out of 5 to go at the moment, but Solo, it feels like he has 100% done his homework, and it's really, you know, the spacing has been beautiful. Just these baits with Luma and then Rosalina just right there. It's that real mix-up between, are you going to target Luma, but you know, but then you got to really keep in mind, what is Rosalina doing at the same time? Like I said, you cannot tunnel vision in this matchup, and again, you've got that 3 out of 5 to make those adjustments, and it may be that Wombat is going to need an extra game, because at the moment it's looking like a pretty close game 1 here, Rekka.
Yeah, like how do you even get out of this situation, Joyce? No clue, swats away the Luma there, still unable to do anything about it. The Luma has him by the ropes. Young Wombat is going to have to do some real soul searching to find out how to figure out how to beat this Space Queen.
It's a really tricky one, because it's one of those matchups where you need to sort of go in and think, right, okay, what moves are going to instantly knock away Luma, which, you know, in these opportunities, when you have these sort of like pre-baked combos and pre-baked sort of options in neutral that a lot of people have, you know, these really solid game plans, but Rosalina being one of those characters where she's so unique in the way that you have to readjust it. It's not just a case of they're a bit more of a fast faller or, you know, they're a little bit lighter than I'm expecting. It's not like a Fox or a Jigglypuff situation. This is so unique, you know, only similar characters really being ice climbers that, you know, you've got to add that really drastic game plan. But we're running it back to that smaller stage. Wombat wants that little bit of, you know, claustrophobia to really smother Solo with all of these options. However, we are going to see what adjustments he's managed to make on the fly. Yeah,
Luma, you know, really, we're talking the brass tacks of it, space making to, you know, really just extends that presence of Rosalina ever so more. But if we're talking real layer 1 stuff right now, the first thing you need to focus on as Wombat is getting rid of that Luma. Suddenly things start to click a lot more, then go back to that 1v1 sort of game, because right now it isn't kind of tough. But Wombat, he's making it work. He's got a lead right now. I really think one of the pride and joys of Ireland can make it work this game, but we'll have to see.
One thing that I'm seeing already from Wombat is this use of forward tilt, right? It's this, you know, long sweeping hitboxes, not necessarily the strongest hitbox in the world, but it's able to hit Luma, and Rosalina really can't do much about it. And even if it's sort of 2 or 3 hits, it's managing to get rid of Luma. However, no amount of good option select is going to save you from that down air. Solo, once again, don't get me wrong, Not as strong of a lead, but a lead nonetheless.
Yeah, most definitely so. I mean, it's all about Wombat can take it now, but even the back air on ledge is unable to take that stock. Solo's VI bit too crazy right now, but still the second back air is going to do the job. Suddenly, it's looking a lot more doable for Wombat. We might be able to see the game goes in, but still, let's not get too hasty here, Joycey. It's only stock 2.
And you've got to get off this ledge as well. That is the one thing that Rosalina is especially good at. Her ledge traps are so unique in the way that she can set them up. And when you're a heavy character with such a big hurt box as well, it's going to be so, so hard to get around these tricks and traps that she's trying. And once again, Solo just rinsing and repeating these up airs, just sending back up. Luma once again, hoping to finish the job. However, just a little bit of hasty timing, and Luma get the hell out of here, but Rosalina hangs on.
Man, I'm moving like Chatsu and Tien, man. He's like, Tien, no! Saving the life of young Solo. You know, that down air could have been very detrimental. But still, nonetheless, Wombat hanging on by a thread. But can he get past this really annoying ledge situation that Solo has set up for him? Center stage, tries the down B, unable to. The Hail Mary isn't going to work here, Joseph.
And it was so beautiful the way that they had Solo on the right-hand side and then Luma just straight in the middle, because even if Wombat landed on that platform, it's still a disadvantageous position. We've been seeing time and time again how much Wombat is struggling to get down, particularly at these low to mid percents. So the fact that you had that platform covered, you had to pick an awful situation or death, and unfortunately, Wombat chose wrong. However, a forward smash, making that statement saying, I'm not out of the woods just yet, brother. We've still got a fight on our hands. Only 43% and a DK advantage state as well on the cards, and I've got to say, Luma is looking a little bit worse for wear.
That's what I'm saying, Joyce. I mean, we've been saying that Wombat is a heavy hitter, but it hits completely different when you get clapped like that, and suddenly I feel like a little bit of momentum may have shifted to Wombat. Can he find these hits? And he can. You can just feel the goddamn energy in the venue, Joyce. Island going crazy for their boy right now.
And what an adjustment from Wombat as well, and particularly in that last stock, I felt like all of the fear that he was playing with, that unfamiliarity. You're on the big stage at the biggest tournament that we've seen in quite some time, and all of that fear went away. And much like yourself, he was like, you already know who I am. You already know why I'm here on this stage.
That's the kid right there, man. That is the kid. But hold on, Solo, and once again, pride and joy of his country as well. One of the representatives. He can make it work. He's done it game 1. Is this a lucky game for Wombat? We'll have to see. Solo, what are you going to show us right now?
I was going to say, Solo also being one of those players where we see him in sort of like these like really good results, but just sort of on that cusp of becoming right at the top of Europe. And there's players like these that Solo really needs to be sort of taking those dominant wins over in order to secure him right there at the top, and he is already firing back once again, and that perfect spacing. I love that Wombat trying to delay it a little bit, just in case you're going for that immediate down air, but Solo adjusting his spacing accordingly, getting the spike, and now has once again got a lovely advantage state going on Wombat. He's going to struggle to get down here.
Yeah, quite a bit. It feels like that center platform here on Hollow Bastion might prove to be even more detrimental than actually helping Wombat here. Solo's using it so well to try and bait a landing and punish Wombat accordingly. And Wombat just can't seem to find a landing in the past 2 stocks. We might see a 2-stock lead now coming out from Solo, but we'll have to see.
There we go, and Solo really knowing what moves that he can get away with, and there we go, a lovely reversal, and Solo without the resources to get back. Wombat with a little bit of rage as well, poising himself to make this comeback in a similar way to game 2.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally just a little bit, a modicum of momentum on Wombat's side is all he needed, but Solo says, stop right there, young blood. It's my turn to shine.
It's a fresh 2 stocks to 1 at the moment. Luma off the table. However, Solo this time electing to go for more of an aggressive approach. That's the thing. Sometimes Rosalinas, they like to take that defensive style when they don't have Luma. I've not got the shield in front of me. I'm getting out of there. But then Solo deciding, actually, you know what? I will take the fight to you because you're not expecting me to be rushing out your face. And look at the situation that has put Wombat in once again. What could have been quite a nice comeback has just turned into more and more of an insurpassable lead, and Wombat is going to have to pull something out the back here.
This was a beautiful pressure, but there we go, man. A little bit of revenge for all those times that Wombat down air the Luma, sent the Luma off stage, the Luma gets a little bit of revenge, you know, a little bit of a vengeance on his side of things there. 2-1 to Solo. And Wombat, what do you have for us? What do you think Wombat can do here, Joycey, to really bring things back?
I think it's just these, I think it's that you've got to really mix up that tempo, right? You need to take that slower, more patient approach when it comes to getting rid of Luma. And then you've really got to rush down the Rosalina. She is not the best at that hand-to-hand combat. You need to really make the most of those opportunities. And that's not something that Wombat is unfamiliar with. Of course, playing a character like DK at this level, you are used to killing in 1 or 2 neutral wins. But it's so, so important in this matchup just because of how difficult neutral is when that star is on screen. So I think Wombat just really needs to almost like take those opportunities and then really, really run with them, and nearly losing a stock in the first 15 seconds. Again, Solo has taken this momentum and is refusing to let go.
Yeah, Wombat just can't seem to separate Solo and that Luma. And you mentioned it in the last game, Joycey, even without Luma, Solo seems perfectly fine. Ironically, Solo, like, still playing extremely aggressive in situations where you think Rosalina would play defensive.
Yeah, and just Solo as well. The real thing that I'm noticing is that it always seems that Wombat is trapped in the corner. It seems to be his go-to defensive option. Run back, charge that punch, get the down Bs going, just try and get something started. But Solo is just taking it each and every time. And whether it's just Luma being sent in or Rosalina there, just to, you know, get that real pressure going, it's been so, so difficult for Wombat to get anything started, and a couple of haphazard options as well. These up Bs, Raka, these up Bs have not been working, my friend.
Yeah, unfortunately, man, the kid, it feels like he's sort of given up mentally, man. I mean, Solo is just so consistent with, like, landing the back air on ledge and stuff. It really feels impossible for Wombat to approach in such certain scenarios. Only, I mean, 89% on his first stock still, man. Solo is looking strong. I don't know how Wombat can come back from this right now.
I mean, Wombat has overcame very difficult matchups across his history. He is one of the strongest up-and-comers at the moment. So, as Nutrose said earlier, it ain't over until the game is set. But Wombat has got to find that first stock first. And hey, if it don't work the first 4 times, 5th time is the charm. And Wombat finally with a stock on the board.
Definitely, Joycey, still. Oh no, off stage, Solo might want to finish things quickly. That's a JV3 for Solo. A 3-1 victory, and he will be moving on. Well, unfortunate for young Wombat. One of the pride and joys of Ireland, as I mentioned before, but an amazing spectacle of the performance that he put on, still taking that one game in such a wild and powerful manner, Joycey.
It's just insane to see, and particularly how almost like clinical Solo was with the edge guarding and the adjustments that we saw going from those immediate down airs in the game 1 to the down airs more so to the left-hand side with the slight delay to cover for that delay mix-up on the spinning Kong. And then right there as well, Wombat deciding in the final moment, right, I've got to recover high. The low recoveries are getting sniped every time. I've got to recover high. And Solo just charging that forward smash just to say, nice mix-up, I already had that planned. A stunning performance there from Solo, making it through into top 64 winner side. Wombat, of course, going to be dropping down into the losers bracket. But hey, woe betide anybody that is in that young boy's path, because let me tell you, there's going to be rubble everywhere.